Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome from wherever you are around the world to today's Experience the Power of Love, Peace, and Harmony. My name is Zakota, and I am happy to welcome you as on behalf of the team as the co-producer, the associate producer for this wonderful show. We've got a great show in store for you today, and you have my apologies for the delay in starting, but we're going to get right into it now. Today's show is the theme is the United Nations Zero Discrimination Day. And I'm going to welcome our host for today, who is Venier Wong. Venier is a master teacher and healer at Master Sha's Tao Center Global, as well as the co-lead of the Global Health and Wellness Program. She's also a former director of the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation. Venier has worked in international nonprofit organizations and for governments on social health justice policy, restorative healing programs, and community development. She was a consultant and lead educator in organizational change, strategic leadership, and capacity building. In addition, Venier has passionately worked on vital humanitarian issues such as mental health, poverty, homelessness, violence against women and children, social economic justice, and gender and racial equality here in Canada, as well as in Africa, in Southeast Asia, Central America, Europe, the USA, and the Caribbean. And she is here with us today. Welcome, Venier.
Thank you, Zakota, and hello, everyone world. To the world so we can bring light and love and compassion and the message of love, peace, and harmony to transform the negative consciousness, information, or the impact of whatever the issue is that's concerning people. So on this day, as Dakota had mentioned, on March 1st is a United Nations worldwide recognized day. It is called Zero Discrimination Day. And this year's focus is to save lives. What does that mean? So United Nations AIDS, UNAIDS, United Nations AIDS, is taking the lead to highlight why there should be zero discrimination in any form. But the focus is on health. The focus is on AIDS, HIV, and AIDS, specifically how we can, as individuals, as organizations, as communities, and of course, countries, educate ourselves to be much more aware around the struggle around AIDS. Why is it still relevant today? And how is it affecting people all over the world? Because there's a human decision in many countries to criminalize those that are affected by HIV and AIDS. So, on that note, we have a very special pre recorded video of a wonderful friend, comrade, and former colleague, Shunya Barton. Shunya Barton was the former director of the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation, and for many, many years, more than 30 years, a longtime advocate, educator, change maker in the area of health, particularly around HIV AIDS. He has not just survived, right, that particular issue, which first got world attention in the late 70s, early 80s, and so forth, but he has thrived. And he talks about this very intimate personal journey, but it's a journey of inspiration and change. Shunya worked as an advocate and as an educator also for the Life Foundation, and he worked in equity, inclusion, and diversity in organizational change and organizational development. He also is a registered massage therapist, energy healer, and of course, for those who might know him, one of Master Sha's leading master teacher and healer in the Tao healing technology for so many years. So let us give big love to Shunya's special clip where he talks about his journey and bringing attention, healing, and transformation to the issue of HIV and AIDS. Thank you.
So I would like to hear from my dear friend and colleague, Shunya, your amazing contributions to this movement as a leader.
Well, thank you so much, Penelope. It's really been interesting to see all the changes that have happened over the last several decades in our community. And today we really want to celebrate how far we've come and celebrate all that's come together in the LGBTQIA plus community, which I'm actually really proud and happy that we have alphabet soup. Because when I was a young galing, when I was in my 20s, it was the gay and lesbian movement. So really the only thing that was recognized even that existed was gays and lesbians. Now, younger people are schooling me on gender identity and all the different aspects of what it means to be part of this community. And that's how our community has grown and evolved over time. And there are so many more opportunities now, but at the same time, there are so many challenges that continue to persist over and over and over again.
Yes.
And it, as you said, it was a very dynamic time when we were younger, when you were involved with that. And I was like literally lying down in protests in the middle of the street in a leather jacket.
Of course you were. I want that picture.
You know, and I'm really glad that we're not in the middle of the AIDS epidemic. Being in the middle of the COVID pandemic has been bad enough, and watching so many of the same things that happened in the AIDS epidemic happen again with the COVID pandemic.
Yes.
And so often, you know, if we don't know history, we're bound to repeat it. So
I want to say hallelujah, but I can't.
So we wanted to revisit some of the history today and talk about a time when the early times of the LGBTQ plus movement, where it was still illegal in the United States to be gay. The idea of gay marriage was just.
Sure, I just had a pause there when you say it was illegal. I just want the audience to resonate with that ridiculousness. It was illegal. And it still is in some countries. Sorry, Shunya, that was just such a powerful word.
Yeah, I mean, and it is how it was when I was growing up. In most of the states in the United States, in most countries, it was illegal. Still today, in 10 countries, you can be put to death for being part of the LGBTQ plus community. So we're not there yet. In some countries, we've made a lot of progress. But for me, I grew up in California, which is one of the most progressive states in the United States. So I don't think it was illegal per se, but it was still considered a mental illness when I first realized that I was gay. So and the information that I had on what it meant to be gay was horrible, just horrible.
Yes.
Like, you will grow up to be lonely and self-loathing, end of story.
Little judgy.
Just a little, and that's from a book called Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Sex.
That's before they had the book for dummies, right?
Yeah, it was. So we've come a long way in understanding that LGBTQ is just part of the whole spectrum of what it means to be human. And it's interesting because in one of our interviews today, we're going to talk with an advocate from the native Hawaiian community, Kumuhina, who talks about a different perspective from Polynesia. And when we looked at indigenous cultures around the world, the message is we always knew it was okay. We always knew there was more than two genders.
They got it right.
And it wasn't until the missionary movement around the world that all of the negative things about LGBTQ happened and continue to happen. I was just reading an article about Ghana, where there's a new missionary movement in Ghana to take away all rights and imprison LGBTQ plus people.
Gosh. In 2022.
In 2022.
Mm.
So it never ends. Ignorance never ends, but also love and light never ends.
And that's a hallelujah.
Yeah. So we come from a time of incredible challenge. You know, when by the time I was 30, I was going to a funeral every month. One, when I lived in Colorado, one in every two gay men in San Francisco had AIDS. One in every 5 in Hawaii. I mean, in Colorado.
Wow.
And so for me, and I personally was one of the first diagnosed with HIV in America.
You were one of the first? I did not know that.
Before there was an HIV test, I had flu-like symptoms and swollen lymph glands. I went to my doctor, and I went to the school doctors. They were like, we don't know what this is, but we can't. They tried everything to treat it, didn't work, sent me to a specialist.
Mm.
The specialist said, I have good news and bad news. I've ruled out everything else, and it looks like what you've got is what the gay guys here in San Francisco and in New York are dying from. The good news is the gay guys in San Francisco aren't dying as fast.
And do we know why? Do we know why they weren't?
We don't. Still don't. But, you know, that was my HIV diagnosis 3 days before my 23rd birthday.
Holy smokes.
So there was no hope in that from what my doctor was saying. What everybody was telling me is, you're going to be dead by the time you're 30. Just prepare. Get used to it.
Wow.
And
so how did your family accept that?
They were amazingly supportive.
Good.
You know, I actually literally was a poster boy for AIDS for the Colorado Rocky Mountain YMCA.
I'm not surprised.
And I remember going home to visit my mom and dad, who were in real estate. And I went into their real estate office, and the first thing I saw when I walked in the office was my HIV poster in their real estate.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It was wonderful, but it was a little overwhelming. It was like
affirmation.
I'm not sure this belongs in a real estate office, but thank you very much.
Or does it not?
You know, bless their hearts. They were really, they were very great when I came out as being gay. They were great when I came out with HIV. And they've been very loving and supportive my whole life. One of the mistakes I think that people in my generation make is we think it's so much easier for young people to come out now. But what I keep hearing over and over again from young queer people is it's still the worst thing you can be at school. It's still what you get bullied for the most. And parents are all too frequently just as backwards, just as ignorant, kicking their children out. I just had a plea from somebody who took in 3 transgender youth because they were being kicked out of their home. They were being denied food and made to sleep outside.
My gosh.
So I think when we think of everything's perfect and rosy now, because hey, Will and Grace, and hey, it's in the news, that's not what I'm hearing from the youth that I work with.
Interesting touch point you brought up there in terms of Will and Grace. The media is very powerful. So when that mid 80s to mid 90s period with a lot of movement in the community, thankfully for the first time in eons, and then the media eventually got on board. And in snippets, of course, we all remember when Ellen was so bravely, so courageously came forward. It takes someone with sheer heart and guts and determination to come forward. It takes someone to lead, such as yourself, to lead, to say, it's okay, you can join me and come out too. So when the media started with their lighter versions of shows and then working up to a Will and Grace, which, as you say, is like a lot of television, picture perfect, not so in real life, but it helped. I think it helped.
I think, I do have the sense that people are more educated, and we see, if you look at polls of attitudes about LGBTQ community, you see that the younger people are, the more accepting they are as a whole. That doesn't mean that there aren't pockets in every generation.
Sure.
But the idea of discriminating against LGBTQIA+ people is the wrong side of history.
Yes.
History is moving forward, but that doesn't mean that we don't see backlashes. In this last year in America, we've had more anti-trans legislation passed than ever before in history. So
that's impressive.
Wherever we sit, the solution is always more love, peace, and harmony.
Yes.
And I learned that really in my activist days. And I was talking about laying down and in the street, and this was on a very popular television show at the time called Phil Donahue. They actually had footage of me at a protest, lying in the street, blocking traffic outside a church.
Well, clearly nobody ran you over because you're here.
Nobody ran me over. But what I realized was that yelling and screaming at people often is not as effective as praying for people.
Right.
And if we instead had a prayer vigil outside the church, praying for the Christians who had lost the message of Christ, the message of love thy neighbor as thyself, the message of remove the splinter from your own eye before you try to take the log out of someone else's eye. I'm sorry, it's the other way around. The log out of your eye before you remove the splinter out of someone else's. Those messages of love, compassion, and tolerance that are all through the Bible, that I was raised on as a Christian. And I could never understand why the adults weren't behaving that way. I was like, it's right there in the Bible. So I think if we can open hearts more and more and see that there's nothing to be afraid of from anyone. When we as LGBTQ plus people stand in the power of who we are, we don't need to be afraid of bullies, however they show up. And there's still much work to be done, but let's celebrate how far we've come. Yes. Especially when we see people moving to turn that back. And when they do move to turn it back, we speak loud and strong with love, forgiveness, compassion, and light, but we tell the truth.
Yes.
And that's what Martin Luther King did. That's what Gandhi did. That's what Nelson Mandela did. There is a whole history of how to do this. If we don't learn from the past, we're bound to repeat it. Do you want to tell the story or shall I?
Which story, Xander?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, please.
So there's a young gay man who's been his class president all through high school.
Is he in Florida?
In Florida. So this law went into effect, and he was giving the valedictorian speech. And he was told, you can't talk about your activist work, and you can't say the G word. Now, he's a young man with very curly hair.
Mhm.
And with humor and with love, he gave his valedictorian speech, and he talked about how he was told that he is indeed a curly-haired person. And he's been told that if he speaks about being a curly-haired person, we will take the microphone away from him. But he's proud to be a curly-haired person.
And we support him.
So props to him.
Yes.
And it
That's
really,
clever.
it exemplified to me how our community has used love and humor and truth to change the world. And when there's people like him coming up as leaders, I don't worry so much about where we're going. And I know that most of the people who have the strongest feelings against our community are my age, and we're going to be gone soon.
Oh, don't say that.
Statistically speaking.
Yeah.
And there's a younger generation coming up behind us that won't be the same.
Yes.
Won't be so steeped in those viewpoints. So what can we do?
Yes, what can we do?
We can vote, we can organize, we can support LGBTQ communities, we can come out when it's safe to do so. I think it's important when we do public programs like this, coming out is not the right choice for everyone always.
Right.
Sometimes if you're dependent on your parents for a place to live and they're going to kick you out of the home, and you're going to be living on the streets. There are many young people in San Francisco who've gone through that. And they're living on the streets, dealing drugs, doing sex work to have a place to live.
Because
we don't want that for anyone in our community.
Just to be able to have their own identity. Those are the lengths that they have to go, that they need to go to.
It's survival.
It's unacceptable.
And we don't want anyone in our community having to have survival sex. You should be having the opportunity to express love the way that it's right for you, that's healthy, nurturing, and respects who you are. So be safe when you come out, but if you can come out, and it's always a risk to come out. And maybe we will lose friendships. Maybe we will lose our sense of security. But the gains on the other side can be so worth it. I had friends who ghosted me in high school when I came out. We're like, I don't want anything to do with you. Those weren't the true friends that became friends for life.
For sure.
So it's always a risk, that when we can come out, we change the world
Yes.
by telling the truth of who we are.
Yes. I love the work that you've done. I love your heart. I love your passion. I love everything that you represent, that you have done, that you continue to do, and that you encourage those around you, and particularly the next generations, to follow suit. Because it's not something that is just going to stop. It is a massive educational piece to enlighten individuals from all over the world, every culture, some with more significant blockages than others. So it's not one size fits all. There isn't a healing pill that they can take to alert themselves that we are all one. We are all human beings. We are all loved by heaven. We are all guided.
And I think it's great that we have volunteers literally around the world who are out sharing a message of love, peace, and harmony, who are out sharing a message of one world, one humanity, that we all can join hearts and souls together in love, peace, and harmony.
Yes.
So just keep up the good work, keep sharing love and light and love, peace, and harmony, and things will get better.
Yes. Thank you for starting this. Thank you for initiating and staying with it and leading and inspiring and following up.
Well,
There's
thank
also
you.
that piece.
And thank you to all the leaders that came before me, to Harvey Milk and
Yes.
the whole group in San Francisco that I followed in their footsteps, and all around the world, the people who've been championing this since the 50s and 60s, who are still with us, who are still sharing light.
Amazing.
Okay, everyone. So let us take a moment and express our love and gratitude to Shunya Barton and Penelope Matheson, both these wonderful leaders and contributors to the movement of love, peace, and harmony, are no longer in their position at the foundation. But we all know that they continue to forge ahead in making important impact in other sectors, in other areas of their life. Why? Because they're part of the human family. And this human family of love, peace, and harmony, no matter where you are, what position you hold or don't hold, you're still deeply connected and serving humanity with one heart. Okay, so take the opportunity, everyone, to share. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Did you discover something new? So I'm going to take a moment now and just read from some of the comments that have been posted on live stream. And also, I know that others have put in the chat on Facebook as well and YouTube, and I'll also take an opportunity to read some of those too. So, Edgar Pena from Toronto says, God bless you, Shunya. We love you. John Andrus. Hello, all my friends. Thank you for being here. Dan Fujio. Aloha, Penelope and Shunya. Thank you for bringing this key issue to light. You both are such kind and compassionate people that can help others open their hearts to be different and to be good with that. Yes, we're all human. We're good with that, Diane. And Dajati says from London, hello, London as well. Brittany Harris, thank you, Shunya. I'm so grateful for your service and so honored to serve and support LGBTQIA plus 1. I'm so passionate about bringing love, peace, and harmony, especially to the youth in our community. Nina Kaiser shared, the situation in the US is a little bit different than here in Germany, and it took me some time to better understand it. There are some similarities too, but with deeper compassion and understanding, we can all gain so much more. So I'm going to just click on the chat and read some comments here. Gia, I'm so grateful for Shunya for all the support to open love, peace, harmony in Ecuador. Hola, Gia Avisanga. I felt my heart opening further. Thank you, Shunya, for sharing your life. Susan, love, peace, and harmony is the way. Thank you and bless you. Rosita Belfire, welcome. She's just saying love, peace, and harmony to all. Dipila, Shunya is a kind heart. He supports a lot of kids in the same situation in Ghana. We love, love, love this topic. I love that curly-haired story, brilliant and wise. Lavelle Coralie, welcome. Katrina, welcome. Lots of love for Shunya for all his years of leadership. Welcome Taisu from BC. Welcome Gopal. She's writing, or he's writing in Hindi from India. Okay, everyone. Thank you for your kind comments. So let me just bring attention to why we are talking about this topic. And what does it have to do with love, peace, and harmony? Actually, everything. We as human beings are part of this human universe, human tribe, human family. We all must embrace all of humanity. We can only do that when we self-educate, increase our awareness, and bring our conscious understanding that we are one. The Tao is one. The Tao's ultimate source and creator. Love, peace, and harmony is one. Love, peace, and harmony is the heart of the source, whomever you believe in as being the source. So, LGBTQI plus one. I am not part of that community. And why is it important to me? It's important to me because those of us, especially who are not negatively affected by forms of discrimination or perhaps by the impact of AIDS and HIV, it's our shared responsibility, our shared human responsibility to understand what is happening in the world to different populations, people who are marginalized, people who are discriminated, whether it affects us or not. We actually have a greater responsibility, especially if we're not affected. That means we occupy sites, positions of privilege. We have access to healthcare services. We have access to certain human rights that are denied to other people. And why? HIV/AIDS is a health issue, is it not? So this year's focus by the United Nations, led by UNAIDS, that's UNAIDS. I'm spelling it because you can look it up at the United Nations, and why they are highlighting to save lives is to decriminalize. So HIV/AIDS was a pandemic when it first affected the so-called first world. But the truth is, it's still a pandemic because millions of people are still being affected by this health issue. The issue is not that marginalized people or people are vulnerable because they have HIV/AIDS or exposed to it. The issue is the criminalization is what causes people to be vulnerable. I'm going to say that again. The issue is not that marginalized people are vulnerable because they have HIV/AIDS. It's the criminalization process that has made people who are exposed to it or in certain segments of our human family are then denied access to healthcare, social services, medicine, and more. So the actual process of criminalization is causing the vulnerability for the pandemic of HIV to spread. Now, ponder on that for a moment, everyone. That means governments have made a decision to criminalize something, and that act of criminalization is actually what's causing people to potentially lose their lives. So let me explain further. In more than 130 countries worldwide, same-sex consensual relationships is still considered a crime. So that makes this particular community vulnerable. Transgender people are still being prosecuted. Those that are involved in some form of the sex work industry are criminalized. In many other countries, if you have HIV exposure or potentially transmit or do not disclose, you can be criminalized. So, what that does is that it targets a group of people. And in that targeting, makes them vulnerable because of the stigma and then the denial of both human rights and the opportunity for equal access for health, social services, mental health, physical health, medicine, and more. So that is why the United Nations decided, and I'm grateful that they have, to bring into all our attention, including minds, at a deeper level, why it's so important to transform this thinking, because it is a human rights, it is a healthcare access. So let us now, everyone, put whatever feelings have come up in our own thoughts and expand it to a consciousness of love, peace, and harmony. And it's my honor to lead you in the invocation. And then we're going to access the beautiful love, peace, harmony, source, oneness, field, calligraphy, and the song. Why is it so powerful? Because everything contains a message, but it doesn't operate at a frequency and vibration, only at a human consciousness, right? It creates expansion, openness, upliftment, and shifts so that we can radiate and vibrate this new frequency and vibration. So we can send up these waves of love, peace, and harmony, not in just some esoteric way. Our Shaw Research Foundation has shown those that meditate, practice, chant, or sit in silence with these special calligraphies that create an incredible source vibrational healing field can transform mental, emotional issues, and yes, energetic and physical issues very quickly. So let us be of service on this day. So everyone close your eyes, put your hand gently in front of your heart and your message center. It's in the middle of your sternum, carries all the messages of our lifetime, but it's the center for love, compassion, forgiveness, and soul transformation. So dear soul, heart, mind, and body, of the sacred field of love, peace, and harmony, and this special song, a source divine code, please activate within me, within every cell, organ, system. We lovingly ask and invite, as appropriate, all of humanity to activate the sacred message and code within them so we can heal and transform any negative attitudes, beliefs, perceptions, or judgments that we or our ancestors may have had or still holding about this very important issue of HIV. Let us bring love and light to the issue. Let us help open hearts and souls to realize we are only as human as the person in front of us. So what we do matters. What we send out matters. So let us bring that power of a unified love, peace, harmony field to transform and open hearts and souls. So we invite everyone and everything as appropriate to join us in activating this special message. Close your eyes if you wish, or keep them open and just simply absorb the frequency from the calligraphy of love, peace, and harmony. You can stay connected in your heart, at work, in the car, wherever you are, in the office. So we're going to do that now for about 15 minutes and just breathe and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. You're breathing in the consciousness of love, peace, and harmony, and you're exhaling, letting go anything that is opposite. We're doing this as a service of transformation. Let's get started. How? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the first how and thank yous to your own soul, your own heart. The second how and thank you is to whomever you're connected to, especially maybe very special guides or beings connected to the field. And the third how and thank you is to whomever you believe in as the ultimate source creator, the cosmos, universal mother. So how means perfect, get well, good. And it always means in my heart, peace be with you. So let us know, how do you feel? That was about 15 minutes. In today's show, the focus was on United Nations International World Day for Zero Discrimination, with a spotlight highlighting to save lives is to decriminalize HIV, and why HIV is such a vital health issue that continues to this day, and it's still considered a pandemic. We may have forgotten about that. So let us know what you think about the talk today, how you're feeling after we did the meditation practice to bring more joy, peace in our heart, to transform any negative consciousness attitude, not just in ourselves, because today we invited all souls as appropriate to join us so we can open our human heart to a much larger, expansive field so we can recognize the humanity in everyone. Okay, so take the moment to write now, and I'll just read a couple of quick comments. And a lot of people just sending a lot of love and gratitude to Shunya and Penelope, that they're missed, they're loved, and they're appreciated. Okay, all right. Now let me take a moment then to introduce a wonderful, excuse me, Love Peace Harmony Foundation team member, Stephen Caldwell, who will introduce you to the Love Peace Harmony recognition field and some wonderful testimonials. Over to you, Stephen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Venier, and thank you all who are joining today. This beautiful weekly experience, the power session. As Venier is saying, we're looking to have speakers on, guest speakers on every week that can get all of us excited about serving more. There's so many opportunities to serve in the world. And that's what Master Sha has created the Love Peace Harmony Foundation for, and the Love Peace Harmony movement. And the Love Peace Harmony donor recognition field. So we can bring up the website. I can show you how to get there and what that looks like. While we're bringing that up, I also want to thank Venier, Shunya, Penelope, Diane, so many others that have still doing a Love, Peace, Harmony message spreading around the world through their activities, whether or not they're a member of the foundation's team at the moment. You guys are all members of the foundation. You're all greatly inspirational souls that are certainly inspiring to me and everyone that I talk to about spreading love, peace, and harmony around the world. When you come to the Love Peace Harmony website, lovepeaceharmony.org, on the home page, you will see the Love Peace Harmony Donor Recognition Field banner. You can click there. And that's going to bring you to a spinning ball there that represents the field that Master Sha has created for us. So anyone can join this field, experience this field, and on the right-hand side, you see a description about that can help you learn about how to access the field. This field is a spiritual field that Master Sha has created for all of humanity that has a very high frequency and vibration that we all can tap into. And this high frequency and vibration spiritual field can heal us, can transform blockages in our lives. When we join the field, we can ask for a healing blessing. We can ask for transformation of relationships, businesses, finances, for ourselves, our loved ones, our pets. If we've got a physical condition, mental condition, emotional condition is causing us challenges in our life, we can be in this field and feel the power of Master Sha's frequency and vibration that's in the field that he's created for us to heal us. So before I take you through the steps to join the field, very important to see some testimonials. Here's some testimonials. So anyone who joins the field has the option, you'll see the share your story button down there, to tell us what you asked for, what you were looking for help with, what blockages in your life, challenges in your life you were looking to transform with this field. And we have a number of you that have already created videos to share with us. So whenever anyone has a very positive experience about being in the field and asking for a blessing or healing of some sort, please share your stories with us. And Zakota, if you could pick one of the testimonials, let's listen to somebody who's had an amazing benefit by experiencing Master Sha's.
My name is Jonathan Run, and I'm from Hawaii, and I want to share a beautiful story from my mom. So my mom has been in the hospital for a little over 2 weeks now. They did some blood work and found out that her skin infection is called MRSA. So after my mom received the Love, Peace, Harmony Donor Field Blessing, my mom got the intuition to call her doctor friend to let her friend check her previous blood work, and what the doctor found was that they missed in this blood work that the MRSA was in my mom's blood. So Dr. Moeller informed the doctors at the hospital, told them to do another blood work, and so they did. And they found that indeed the MRSA was in my mom's blood. Dr. Moeller also informed the doctors to do a blood transfusion for my mom immediately, because what my mom has is life-threatening. So my mom's pain level, from 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, it was a 15 level pain in both legs. Her right leg was on fire, she said, from her feet to her calf, and her left leg was just severely painful. She couldn't even walk on her feet. It was so painful. So the blood transfusion is a success, she said, and her pain level went all the way down from a 15 all the way down to now a 3. She said she can walk now. She can walk. Now she can see her grandchildren. She can go home and be happy once again.
Beautiful testimonial of somebody who chose to do a blessing for their mother by getting them in the field, registered in the field, and experiencing the frequency and vibration that Master Sha provides here. So if you're interested in joining the field, there's an FAQ button at the top left, and that has the information, current information about your options for joining the field. These are all going to change in the next few weeks as we update our website and the access to this field. But for now, if you are interested in trying the field out for 1 month, you can you have an option for $100 to join the field. And once your payment is processed, once you've registered, you are in the field for, in this example, for the full month, for 7x24. So you can ask anytime to for your soul to connect with that field and ask for the healing blessing and the transformational blessing that you would like. There's two other options. You can join the field for 6 months for $300 one-time payment, or if it's easier for you to make monthly payments of $50, the options are there as well. When you join this field, the way Master Sha has set it up, you'd think that you're getting this opportunity to transform negative information in your life, address challenges in your life, as if you're doing this just for yourself. Well, that's there. You can join the field for that kind of benefit. For yourself, as I said before, for your loved ones, pets, family members, businesses. But every dollar that comes into the foundation from people like you that are joining or want to join this field is also going to support Master Sha's humanitarian causes around the world. So many of you know that last year the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation used donations to plant over 1.5 million trees around the world. We're going to be letting you know about a very exciting Earth Day event in April coming up. And we're looking to team up with different partners around the world to route your dollars, your donation dollars, to humanitarian efforts around the world, environmental causes around the world. Today, Venier was talking about, and Shunya, about the issues still facing people with HIV, the LGBTQ plus community. There's all kinds of causes around the world where Master Sha is very interested in using the foundation to raise money for these causes and help people to serve. So your donation dollars when you join the field are going to the humanitarian causes that you'll see on our website, and we'll be announcing these each week as they evolve so that you can see where your dollars are going to help others, to serve. This is a great opportunity, unique opportunity to have your donation dollars, your charitable donation dollars, serve causes in the world. Well, thank you so much, and I'll turn it back to Venier.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for showing us the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation donor recognition field. So everyone, check it out if you're new in this modality, the field of Love, Peace, Harmony. You want to learn more about some of the amazing work that our volunteers in our communities all over the world, what they're doing to make a better contribution to the human experience for all of us. So here are a couple more comments that I like to share from today's program. Michaela Lopez, I experienced clarity and insight on my service. Thank you so much for this peaceful meditation. Eureka, thank you, dear Master Venier, for your service. I feel really relaxed now. It's always nourishing to chant this. Thank you so much. Vaval Correle, let us spread love, peace, and harmony around us in every aspect of our lives. Let us spread the light. I felt the light and love coming like waves in my body, especially in the brain, the third eye, and I want to share this with all my friends and siblings. That's right. Excuse me. So I'm purifying something because in the field, the idea is the field's coming into your body at the cellular level, and it's bringing attention to things that are stagnant or blocked, and it needs to be purified. So I'm grateful for that. Okay, I'm just seeing any more comments. I just want to acknowledge that, a couple more comments. Arte Timmons, thank you for the session. It's been very informative. Lots of good information on this topic. I feel very connected. Thank you for all the special guests, all the teams to put this together. And Diane Fugio, who, as some of you know, is one of the former directors and, of course, a wonderful comrade and colleague from Hawaii, sends her love to everyone who continues to chant and serve, and for today's show. So join us next week, everyone. Next week is International Women's Day on March the 8th, something very close to my heart and I've been involved in really since I was 10 years old. So let us spread the love to all sectors, all people, all nations, wherever they are. That's the purpose of the show. Experience the power of love, peace, and harmony, and multiply, replicate, radiate that love, peace, and harmony. Take care, everyone. Be well. We'll see you next Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care. Bye-bye.